folks, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. You're joining me here in the garage again. I've had a bit of spare time between Christmas and New Year and I've just made a few changes to the garage, some improvements. I've built a wee bench for my boulder and pad to sit on, so I have like this wee sofa style thing and got the brand representation on the wall. Today I want to talk to you about what I wear in the mountains when I'm walking in winter conditions, in the snow or ice or just really cold temperatures. If you haven't, check out yesterday's video where I head up Sleeveburna for an overnight camp, and this will kind of make a bit more sense about what I wear while I'm doing that. When I was out there, quite a lot of people were wearing inappropriate gear, trainers and jeans and stuff, and this isn't me having a dig at them in any shape or form. This is just me giving my advice on what I wear to make my day in the hills more enjoyable and make me a lot more comfortable. For me, it's all about the layering system, starting with base layers and adding to that. As you know, whenever you start to sweat and then you stop exercising, you can become quite cold quite quickly. So if you're setting off from the car, up a mountain, loads of gear on, starting to sweat, and then you stop for lunch or a cup of tea or that, and you've got all your layers on, then you're just going to become very cold very quickly. So what I like to do as I'm walking, I can take layers off very quickly and just stuff them into the bag, or put layers on, so I'll carry extra layers in my bag. So yeah, let's have a look at what I wear then when I go out for a day in the hills in the winter. Okay folks, so this is how I start off every trip into the mountains in the winter. A good base layer system. I've got a merino wool top and a wee merino icebreaker long johns that go under the trousers. They don't have to be merino wool, but I would definitely recommend wearing some moisture wicking material just to get that sweat and that away from your body. Next, I threw on my trousers, and these are just my normal summer walking trousers. They're nice stretchy material, but they're mountain equipment, but again, they don't need to be. They can be just a wee cheap brand from like Go Outdoors or Decathlon or anything like that. They don't need to be anything fancy. They don't need to be lined. Absolutely, if you run really cold in the legs, get lined trousers. You can get lined trousers with like fleece material on the inside, and that might actually make you do without the long johns underneath. But like I said before, I like the layering system. Not that I'm ever going to take my trousers off in the mountains. Socks. So there's a couple of different types of socks that you can wear. I like these smart wool material socks. Really good if they get wet at keeping the feet warm. Wool is a brilliant material for that. Over just normal everyday socks, they're going to keep your feet a lot warmer. If you think walking up a mountain in snow and ice, your feet are in contact with that ice and snow, and they're just going to get pretty cold pretty quick. So a good solid sock. For me in winter, I like to wear sealskin socks, and they're waterproof. I don't find them as warm as the smart wool, but I just find like walking through streams and rivers and melting snow and melting ice, that boots that say they're waterproof eventually will let in a bit of water. So this just guarantees, especially when I'm out on multi-day stuff, that my feet stay dry and warm for the whole time I'm out. And again, you don't need to get waterproof socks to have a day out in the hills, but a nice warm pair of socks does go a long way and making you feel really comfortable. If you have warm hands and warm feet, your day is going to be a lot more enjoyable. They tend to be the things that get cold pretty quickly, along with ears and heads. So yeah, decent pair of socks, highly recommend them. Bottom half's pretty okay, ready to go. Top half then. So again, this polyester type material rather than cotton goes on next, and I'm just starting to build up the layers. Not sponsored by Montane in any way, but if you would like to, let's chat. And then I add a wee fleece layer. This mountain equipment, wee micro fleece material, I actually wear this just every day now rather than when I'm in the mountains, but brilliant wee layer. Again, all this material is moisture wicking to get that moisture away from your body, and that is the keys to having a more enjoyable day, so you're not getting cold with the sweat clinging to your body like with the cotton and jeans and jogging bottom material that you might see people wearing. If that gets wet, you're going to get cold very, very quickly. Next goes on a wee insulated jacket. Now this will be the first layer I take off when I start to get really warm. I'll probably have this on for the first half hour or so as my body gets up to temperature and we're starting to walk. But yeah, this comes off and it folds down to absolutely nothing. It is Pertex Shield, so like if there's a wee fine shower comes through, or a wee bit of rain or snow comes through, it is going to offer you a wee bit of protection, so you might not rush to get the waterproof jacket out straight away. So yeah, really like these wee Montane Icarus jackets. Footwear then, we'll come on to the boots. So yeah, you can see my absolutely stinking big mountaineering boots. These are B2 Scarpa boots. And what that means is that they're a very rigid sole for taking crampons, for walking in the snow and the ice, and having an enjoyable day. Again, I'm not saying that you need these kind of boots to go up and walk up Slieve Burna or Donard or Peak District or wherever it is you are, but it just means that you can add a crampon to them if you need to. When I was up on Slieve Burna, I absolutely could have done with a crampon for descending. The amount of people I seen slipping and sliding to get down off the mountain, and then as they're sliding, they're just compacting the snow and ice and making it slippier for the rest of the people to come down. So either a crampon or some kind of micro spikes on the bottom of your boot would have been brilliant. Quite a lot of people do have like a summer walking boot, and that's perfect. If you put a decent pair of socks on, like the Smart Wool or these waterproof sealskin socks, and carry a wee set of micro spikes in your bag, and you're sorted, you can tackle pretty much anything in the Mournes, give or take. I'm not saying go out and scale big gullies or anything like that there, but for most of it, if you're watching this video, you're trying to get some ideas what to be wearing in the winter. So yeah, if you've got a summer boot lying about, pop that on and grab yourself a wee set of spikes to go on the bottom of them. You'll be flying up the mountains. But yes, this is what I wear in the winter. These are my winter boots, and I will be doing a wee video in the next few days on how to clean and properly look after your boots. We're back in lockdown, as I'm sure most of you are, and I've got a lot of spare time now, so yeah, I just thought that I could share as many of my top tips with you as possible over the next few weeks. So stay tuned to see what I've got planned, and if you have any topics that you want covered, just drop it in the comments below and I'll make a video for it, because yeah, I've got a lot of spare time at the minute. So like I was saying before, hands and heads and feet get cold really, really quickly. So a good hat. This is actually a bit overkill, but it's brilliant when you've stopped. So when you stop for a cup of tea or that, or when I'm hanging about camp at night, I'll fire this boy on. Bit overkill for walking in. So I've got this wee thinner one that I pop on. Decent set of gloves. Keeps the hands toasty. They don't need to be anything fancy, but if you're going for cheaper gloves, it might be worth getting a couple of pairs that you can again build up layers inside. With these ones, sometimes I carry a wee icebreaker glove liner, and they're only a couple of quid. I think they're £10, so they are. So yeah, really worth investing in them. Icebreaker glove liners. I'll put it in the description below. And basically, sometimes I can get away with just wearing them, and you don't need the big thick gloves on all the time. So that, along with that, goes in the bag. I've got a buff that'll go in my bag as well, and this is just a wee cheap buff that I got for. So I did some charity thing a while ago, and you get these free. So carrying a buff, and in the bag I'll throw maybe 2 or 3 extra tops that I can fire on if I'm getting really cold, or like I say, when I stop for lunch or that, I can put more clothing on. So that goes in the bag, along with the big thick hat, gloves and a buff. Last but not least, the weather in the mountains changes so quickly, as I'm sure you all know. So there's 3 other bits of kit that I'll carry that I'll quickly put on and change it off. I've got a waterproof jacket. Whenever I bought this waterproof jacket, I actually went to the shop with all my layers on to make sure that this still fits over the top of everything. So yes, I've had to size it up an extra size so I can fit it over all my layers. But it just means it adds another layer without having to take insulated jackets off and take down the layers, because these are brilliant at stopping wind and rain, but they're not so great at keeping heat in or giving you a bit of insulation. I don't actually wear it that much unless I need to, unless it's raining, because I say, like, it will trap a lot of moisture and make you feel wet below it. And then if it really starts heavy rain or heavy snow, I've got these waterproof trousers. When you're looking at waterproof trousers, if you're looking at buying them, make sure that they pop the full way up and open the full way up. And it just means that you don't need to take boots or trousers or anything off whenever you're out in the mountains. You can literally just pop them on over your boots. And do up the poppers. Pretty sorted for any weather, really. I can take on pretty much everything with what I'm wearing and have a really good, comfortable day in the hills. And when I'm not wearing this kit, it just goes into my bag, rolls up to absolutely nothing, weighs nothing. And again, you don't need to get big fancy brands to have an enjoyable, comfortable day out. You can just go to Go Outdoors or Decathlon and pick up some of their gear. It is a good investment in some of this gear, but if you just want to get out and experience it, yeah, you don't need to spend loads of money. Even ask your family or friends, do they have any gear you can borrow? It'll just make your day a lot more enjoyable. The only other thing then that I've got is a set of gaiters. Gaiters go under your boot and come up quite high on your leg. Gaiters, sometimes I wear them, sometimes I don't. It depends how deep the snow is and if the rain's on for a very long time. Sometimes I wear them if it's not even raining. If the snow's up past the top of my boot and I'm walking in it for a long period of time, I'll pop these on. It just stops the snow going down inside the boot and again cooling the feet down. So yeah, if I'm walking in deepish snow for a long period of time, I'll pop them on. I'll normally pop them on whenever I pop crampons on as well, just to try and protect the trousers a wee bit more, to stop crampons piercing through your trouser leg and ruining the trousers. Guys, that's pretty much everything that I wear for a day out in the hills, or that I carry in my bag with me. Most of you will have these clothes lying about the house: gym tops, wee micro fleeces, like ski gear and stuff like that there. It's all brilliant kit to be wearing out and keeping yourself warm. The key thing is loads of layers and having spare kit in your bag to add as you need it. Carrying spares as well, in case anything happens. You come across somebody who might be cold or struggling, you can assist them with some gear. Or if you lose any of your gear or it gets absolutely soaking wet, you've got spare kit in your bag to see you through to the end of your trip. Like I said in the beginning, guys, this isn't me having a go at what people are wearing up in the mountains at the minute. This is just me suggesting what I wear, and maybe to get you thinking about what you should be wearing as well. If you liked it, give it a wee thumbs up and drop a message below if there's anything that you wear differently that I don't. And stay tuned for more videos coming very soon. Cheers, guys.